Life's a play with no rehearsal. Cause the devil is a lie, eh? I'm telling you the truth, eh? It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do, hey, 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 hey. Barbershop conversation, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button, So, hey, let's jump into this, man. But don't forget to join my Patreon. I'm actually finalizing my loan right now. So if you guys are interested in how to secure loans and stuff for a property, I'm gonna teach you how to do arms, how to buy down the interest rate, buying points, or contemporary traditional loans. Join my Patreon right now, $5 a month, and you can write it off. You know what I mean? Write that $5 off, man. Professional development. All right, let's jump into this really, really quick. All right. Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia. Hey, dog. I'm not saying, before you guys jump into this and boxing fans jump in, I'm not saying I agree with everything Mikey Garcia says. Obviously, he didn't sell the pay-per-view against Errol Spence, and he's been kind of talking down on that. But that's not what this video is about. Okay. If you know a fighter, if you aspire to be a fighter, if you're a manager, if you're a promoter, you need to sit your ass down and fully grasp and understand what the hell I'm about to say. I figured out what they did. Not everything, not saying everything. I figured out what they did. I was listening. Shout out to the Boxing Boys for sure. Shout out to the Boxing Boys for sure. They did Robert and Mikey in an hour. I was listening to it as I was roaming around the house. And great interview. It was spontaneous too. So that makes it even much more pleasant for the viewers like me. But let's jump into this really, really fast. You know what they did? They cornered the market space. Every Mexican that you need to fight, I'm not saying every, it's a hyperbole, okay, guys? They're in that stable. Maidana, Mikey Garcia, Josecito Lopez, Abner Mares, Jose Ramirez, right? So you know what they did? They leveraged that into the fighters below them. And then they're going to leverage that in the Virgil Ortizes, and they have a whole bunch of other guys as well. And what they did is they cornered the market space. And what they do, they don't fight nobodies. That's the game plan. We ain't fighting a nobody. And what I mean by nobody, I mean you ain't got no name cachet. We ain't fighting you. And why are we going to do this? Because Golden Spatula Promotions, we don't just want to be Golden Boy Spatula, but we're going to start with the Mexican audience. You know what we're going to do? Every time Mikey Garcia fight, every time we sign a Mikey Garcia fight, guess what you got to do? Put in the contract. We got to have a card the day before. Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia, it was a card the day before in Dallas, Texas. February 27th is going to be a card in Dallas, Texas for Mikey Garcia undercard. It's just beyond winning. You got to understand business. I told you guys, fighters, you are the asset, not your promoter's mouth, not your manager's ability to sign his name. You are the talent, and you become you know how they call it a triple threat when you understand business. Fighters, stop saying, I'm going to let my team. No. Fuck your team. You are the team. Those are employees. All right? And then they become teammates. But until they do their job, they are not your teammates. They are employees. And I want every fighter to grasp and understand this. In 15 years, you know how obsolete promoters are going to be? How obsolete it's going to be business partners. Promoters, shit, you ain't getting 30% of my contract. Must be stupid. If your promoter is getting 30% of your contract, if your manager is getting 30% of your contract, I think you're stupid. In 2019, I'm just being honest. I think you're stupid. I think you're not smart. And I'm using stupid on purpose to get an emotional reaction out of you. I don't really think you're stupid per se. But you're a fool. You're foolish. You're not wise. You're unintelligent. All right? Because in 2019, Nobody should be giving away 30% of their purse. Just nobody. You know what I mean? I don't care if your father's training you. No one should be giving away 30% of their purse. And you got to pay taxes in 2019. That was 2000. Man, Ali fought for y'all for the Ali Act, so that shit wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? But anyways, if your father, promoter, manager, best friend, auntie, uncle is getting 30% of the money and he ain't never took a punch, the joke's on you. But as I digress back into Mikey Garcia, I applaud what they're doing. I genuinely applaud what they're doing. It was similar to what Al Haymon was doing with Adrian Broner, if you guys remember that. And it's real similar to what Floyd Mayweather is actually doing with Showtime. He's using them for shoulder programming, right? Even though Floyd Mayweather was the main attraction, he had a minor, I'm going to call it the minor leagues, the Friday night fights, like minor leagues, right? And you build them up and build them up and build them up because he's the main attraction on Saturday night. And I genuinely believe Mikey Garcia learned this when Floyd Mayweather was pursuing him. And I think he looked at him from like 50,000 feet. I'm going to interview Mikey Garcia at some point. And it's going to be an interview that boxers are going to appreciate years on down the line. It's not going to be a hoopla, who you fight next type interview, but I want to really, really delve into his mindset as it relates to business, because I think it's really, really important. You understand what I'm saying? And hopefully fighters get it. You know, hopefully our black and brown fighters fully grasp and understand you don't need a promoter. You need a partnership. All right? You can't. Hey, beautiful. You can't. You can't. You can't do everything by yourself. You understand what I'm saying? You can't do everything by yourself. So you're gonna need partners. But stop hiring people. You know what I mean? The only person that should be full time is your trainer. Thank you, Kiki. That's it. Everyone else is on fight by fight basis. Stop hiring people long term. Only your trainer. You can get a different promoter for every fight as a partner. And when you get to this point in your career, you will understand what the hell I'm saying. All right. And I just want y'all to fully grasp what the hell I'm saying. I may be speaking over a lot of you guys' head right now, but at the end of the day, it's about how much money you take home. It's not how much money that you put out. It's about how much money you take home. And Mikey Garcia, I'm gonna reach out to Mikey Garcia. I'm gonna try and get that interview within the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna really, really try. I'm gonna try my darnest. Okay, I promise you guys. I think I have Robert's phone number. I do. I think I have Robert's phone number. So I'll reach out to him maybe tomorrow, because I really, really want Mikey Garcia to break down his play. You know, and I can look at it from 50,000 feet, but I don't know the details of it. But if you look at it, he did the same thing with Al Haymon. He stuck Al Haymon up. Think about it for a second. Eddie Hearn ain't the only guy he stuck up. He had a card on Friday night in Dallas, Texas. You understand? On that Friday night, he sold it out. Sold it out. I wasn't there, but I heard about it. And then he fought that Saturday night. I was in the hotel lobby when Robert Garcia and Peter came back, and that interview was actually on my channel, you know what I mean, about 11, 12 o'clock at night. And Evander Holyfield popped in, and it was so. And then, again, on Eddie Hearn, stuck him up. Although Al Haymon went the pay-per-view route, he didn't have to pay him per se. We paid Mikey Garcia because we paid for the pay-per-view. But I don't know if there was a guarantee or anything like that, and who knows how long it's going to run. If he loses to Jesse Vargas, guess what? He got Virgil Ortiz. Guess what? He going to have Josecito Lopez fighting for an interim belt. Guess what? He going to have Abner Mares fighting against a name opponent. He winning no matter what. And guess what? Jose Ramirez is fighting for a unification title. And even if he doesn't have a piece of Jose Ramirez, the Robert Garcia brand still expands because Robert Garcia is the trainer and probably the manager at this point. You understand? So I think all this plays into the realities of building legacy. And I think Mikey Garcia is doing a hell of a job at building legacy. And Some of my first videos on this channel is about, and the premise of this channel is about building legacy. You understand? I'll admit, I was. Do I agree with Mikey Garcia? No, no, no. I don't agree with everything Mikey Garcia says, and as it relates to him being ace high over these black fighters. No, I don't believe none of that shit. And I just want to substantiate that claim so people say, "Oh, you." I just want you guys to understanding who you are in this game. When you understand who you are in this game, everything opens up like a wet pussy. Everything fucking opens up. You make that macaroni and cheese sound. Shout out to all my kings out there. You know what I mean? So that's where we should be in this game. Everyone should be eating macaroni and cheese. Until that whole tell you go deeper, you're like, that's all I got. But anyways, man. As I digress, where was I? We're talking about boxing, right? We wasn't talking about the box. We were talking about boxing. I ain't said the box in a long ass time. Do they still call it the box? Put it in the comment section. Do y'all still call her? Do y'all still call what she got in between her legs the box? Anyways, yeah, man. So that's kind of where I stand on this. Mikey Garcia ain't won a fight since July 27th, 28th of 2018. And he called big shots. He called Al Haymon, Mr. Haymon. Come on, man. He playing the game for keeps, y'all. He playing the game for keeps. And now he's in a position to live his life and build his brand. Ain't nothing better like it. There's few better feelings than knowing that you a boss. Oh my God. Ain't no better feeling than knowing you a boss. Knowing that you get up on your own merit. Knowing that you ain't got no alarm clock. And all you got is potential employees. Now, every fighter, hear me out. Fire everyone on your team. Fire everybody. All right. Only one that's a mainstay is your trainer. Everyone gets hired on a fight-by-fight basis. All right. This is your base salary, and this is your incentive. You get me X, Y, Z. This is your incentive. All right. And if you don't get this, I'm going to see if I can hire someone else. Everyone gets comfortable. All these fighters get comfortable with having the same people, the same team. You know, I can look at 5 or 6 teams right now in boxing and say, yeah, I ain't making no money outside of boxing. All you doing is waiting on this promoter to hand you your check at the end of the fight. If you're an A-level fighter, the top of the bar stool, the top of the food chain, the top of this top shelf fighter, ain't no way in hell you should be getting more than that. All right. And by the looks of it, you know what I mean? It generally looks like that's where boxing is headed. I think Al Haymon takes pride. I genuinely believe Al Haymon takes pride in turning promotional companies into employees. I just do. You know what I mean? I genuinely believe that. Obviously, they probably get paid to do their job rather well, but he loves playing the chessboard. And he don't mind, in my humble opinion, he don't mind if you understand business either. This is just how I perceive it. I don't know this to be true. But because he's willing to work with Mikey Garcia, I think Al Haymon is, and I'm going to say this because I know Bob Arum, and I've had 4 or 5 conversations with Eddie Hearn. Who else is the other promoter? I don't know the other promoters. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that guy, Golden Spatula. I think Al Haymon respects you if you have a brain and understand boxing. And I believe he teaches you. It's just my understanding. The reason why I say that is because now you see a lot of these PBC fighters having promotional companies. You understand? And I think that it's just very, very cool. You understand what I'm saying? I think that long term, you're going to win. And but fighters, if you can hear me out and hear me good, everyone, no more hangarounds. All right, no more hangarounds. Get you a strong team that's creating great business for you. That's it. Create a great team that's creating great business that surrounds you and supports you. Okay, hire me as your PR guy. You know what I mean? Hire me. Hire me. a la carte, one fight at a time. I don't want no long-term deal because I don't want to feel obligated to work for nobody. I want to wake up happy. You know what I mean? It's a partnership. I'm not going to be nobody's employee. You know what I mean? So anyway, but I know how to negotiate deals. You know what I mean? Probably, obviously not as great as Al Haymon, but I think Mikey Garcia learned a lot. He sat back. I think they learned a lot from the Maidana fiasco, and I call it a fiasco because it was a big event, not nothing negative. I think the Garcia sat back and says, I saw how Floyd Mayweather conned the fans into believe that Maidana could beat him. The second fight shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't have happened. But I think they sat back and saw how Al Haymon moved. They probably met with him a few times with the Maidana work. And then they also saw how Floyd Mayweather intentionally and purposely attempted to recruit him, and they listened to what they offered. And I think that it's extraordinary. You know, similar to Errol Spence, he had 4 guys. He had all Dallas people on his card. Deontay Wilder has his brother fighting on his card. You know, it's a starting point. You understand what I'm saying? It's a little bit different for the Garcias because they've been in boxing for generations. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different. They got 20-year head start on Al Haymon fighters. So so the numbers are going to look kind of skewed. But I think in about 20 years, you're going to see Deontay Wilder. You're going to see the Errol Spence. You're going to see the Charlos. Charlos had a card in Dallas that Darwin Price headlined against Breeders' Prescott. You understand? That was a Friday night card. Champside actually covered it. You understand? So I think that the ball is rolling. The tipping point is no longer a tipping point. It's like a new pedestal. You know what I mean? So anyhow, man, and if you haven't read the book Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, I suggest that you do. All right, it is a hell of a book, and it will inspire you. So, anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Mikey Garcia, you didn't sell that pay-per-view against Errol Spence, no matter what you say, no matter what you do. But I guarantee, but I tell you what you are selling. You're selling those tickets on Friday night. That's going to sell out in Dallas, Texas, again, for your minor league fighters. And I say that respectfully. I don't know the term for it, but like the showbox style type of fighters. And I think you're maximizing who you are. And that's all we can ask for. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Barbershop conversation, man. Shout out to all my kings that's going to be in that macaroni and cheese and making that sound, man. I salute y'all motherfuckers. Have fun! Hey, don't forget, man. She like her macaroni and cheese with like 6 different cheeses. So, all right. So you're going to have to stay a while. Peace.